Chiropractic, Dr. Randy Penn. Morning, Randy.
Good morning.
Morning, Doc.
Good morning, Andy. Great to see you.
So we're talking about discs today. Discs. Everyone hears the term like bulging disc or rotator cuff. What is it? What is a disc?
So there's discs in between each vertebrae in the spine. So they act like a shock absorber, right? That's kind of like it's a cushion. But it allows us mobility. Unfortunately, those discs can bulge or herniate. That's kind of the condition where that then puts pressure on the nerve system. Those delicate nerves, they can come out of the lower spine, they can shoot down the legs, they can come out of the neck, and they can shoot down the arms. So when we have a bulging or herniated disc, it's a result of usually an alignment issue first. Then we get in a vulnerable position, and then all of a sudden that disc there's ligaments there that can tear, and the inside of the disc starts to protrude or herniate into the canal, and it can compress the cord. It can also compress those delicate nerves that you may have heard sciatic nerve, right?
Yes.
That's a nerve that shoots all the way down the legs, right? So that's really the focus of what we're doing today with our latest technology, is to decompress the disc, create a negative pressure, and allow that herniation to suck back in. It's kind of like a vacuum phenomena. So it's really curative in terms of how we can help people today.
And you've brought new technology with disc centers, and you have disc centers in Jackson right at Penn Chiropractic now. And talk a little bit about some of the things you're able to do. But I know a lot of people are seeking this option.
It's the pain. People.
Well, I mean, you were talking about the pain people are having. Picture people walking around all day with this pain. No wonder everyone's in a bad mood all the time. But this is an option in lieu of surgery in a lot of cases, Doc.
Yeah, without question. We have nearly 90% success rate with having people avoid risky, certainly addictive narcotics.
Right.
This is kind of the medical side, or injections that unfortunately have really not even been FDA approved for back pain, epidural injections, and then often unnecessary surgeries that we can really help people avoid. So it's pretty amazing technology, stuff that I never thought 30 years ago when we started that we'd be doing this kind of level of care, but it's remarkable how Disc Centers of America have kind of banded together. It's a group of doctors around the country. There's 200, I think now, Disc Centers of America, which are all inside of chiropractic offices that are kind of taking this treatment to that level. So it's pretty neat that I have colleagues around the country that are doing very similar things, and they're all having the same kind of success rate, very high.
So the majority of Americans have experienced back pain. It's like the number one complaint. How do you know if it's your discs that's causing your back pain?
That's a great question. So the gold standard that we focus on is MRI. So technology has helped us not only on the treatment side, but MRI is a great it's a study where we can view the disc. We can see exactly what level the disc problem is, whether it's a cervical disc or a lumbar disc. Is it L1? Is it L2? Is it L3? Is it L4? Is it L5? We can then target that specific disc. So the MRI can show us where the bulge or herniation or degeneration or spinal stenosis, those are other things that we're focusing on. But what can happen then is, with our technology, we have the most advanced decompression table. It's Acuspina, and that then we can change the level of the target for the disc. So the fifth lumbar we might pull at 10 degrees, where like L2, L3 we might be at 20, 30 degrees. So that can then, we can target those specific discs, open up and create this vacuum phenomena, where there's a pumping and a let-off. It's very comfortable, very relaxing, creates a negative discal pressure, and then that is what pulls the herniations back into its more anatomical position where it belongs.
Yeah, talk a lot about people timing surgery, right? Or yeah, I've got a bulging disc, this and that. I mean, the option to seek care outside of going under the knife, that has to be very intriguing to folks. But when you talk about like a rotator cuff, I talked to some people and they have some issues and maybe they can't lift their arm above here, or if they were going to turn right here, they can't. And this is all part of that area that you're working on.
We can. I mean, it's not specific to disc right now, but it can be.
Yeah.
Because the nerve supply that comes out of the neck controls and coordinates all the function of the shoulder.
Right.
So was it the nerve supply that was compressed from the disc that caused the shoulder not to function properly, and then we got in a vulnerable position of a tear or something? But sometimes they're completely independent. Other times it can be really connected to the nerve supply.
How do you start? Because like Bart said, how do you know if it's what it is? What's the best way to seek treatment with you?
So we always do a complimentary consultation first, because we don't know if these people are going to qualify for the table or not. There's some contraindications, things like pacemaker, things like cancer, tumors, things like that. There's certain things that we can't do. Severe osteoporosis. So there's a few, not a lot, but a few things. So we would do a complimentary consultation and really kind of decide if we should go into a clinical exam. So then we go through a clinical exam, and so many times our testing just in the clinical exam leads us to, this is a high likelihood this is a disc problem, right? Not just an alignment problem, but a disc problem, right? And so once we do that, then most of the time we would order an MRI. That's when we get the true diagnostic, and we can really target.
Will Zalatoris is a great example.
He's out for the whole year with had back surgery yesterday.
Right. But it is debilitating, right?
Oh yeah, I mean it can, and sometimes it gets to that point. Not a lot. Most of the time we can do this non-surgically. Yeah. But there are certainly there's times when we need our neurosurgeons, we need those guys, and so we refer directly, to them if we're not the answer. Right.
Yeah, you work with a lot of athletes, and performance is key. And if you're not feeling right when you wake up in the morning or throughout the day, your performance, whether it's athletically or even at the job, is going to be poor.
Yeah, it's all based on performance, right? And if we can mechanically help them get into a position to then there's a rehabilitation, right? Because it's not just curing the disc, which it is curative. It rehydrates it, and we get more nutrients and glucose and oxygen into the disc with this technology. But then they've got to do their homework too, right? So they've got to do strengthening, they've got to do stretching, they've got to do things to protect it so that they don't have this thing return, right? Because it could if they bend wrong, if they lift wrong, if they're bending, twisting, lifting all at the same time with our back, not our legs. I mean, there's a lot of things that we're training them to do to help them.
And you can get injuries from lifting a car seat, just walking around. You've probably had some from...
I smashed a box down with my foot.
And got hurt.
My back.
Yeah, so really anyone can get pain for no reason.
And that's like the straw that broke the camel's back, right? That wasn't probably the sole cause.
Right.
There was a lot leading up to that, and then just that little maneuver took us to that next level, right? So, unfortunately, when I was 20, I had disc issues. And that's really what got me into chiropractic.
Really?
Wow.
So, thank God I was young enough, and chiropractic really helped me. But that disc still degenerated. So this technology it's helping me as well.
Yeah,
really
I've seen you move on the golf course. It's unbelievable. You can see the swing. It's as good as they come. Doc Penn, as always, thank you so much for being with us. Looking forward to more visits and learning more about Disc Centers of America and your location in Jackson. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thanks, Andy. Appreciate
Doc
it.
Penn
Thanks,
on
Bart.
The Morning Show. More right after this break.